But let's jump into the final segment, and that is Markelle Fultz, a favorite on this podcast. And not only is he a favorite player of ours, but he's also on our favorite team, the Orlando Magic. Some people might think it's the Chicago Bulls because we always put them in the you guys always put them in the playoffs.
Bulls.
And because you are Bulls fans. But no,
I can't help it.
Our true allegiances lie with our fellow magicians.
I like that.
Magicians in Orlando because they've always given us love and support, even when they're hating on us. Shout out to Draymond Green and shout out to Nikola Vucevic straight up.
I also, the one comment I loved from this past week was, can we keep the Bulls biased strictly to super fans? Can't promise anything. I can't promise
Rick
anything.
is on a podcast, so the Bulls are going to be brought up no matter what.
Tell you directly that they will be brought up in any given segment.
No. He means like Bulls bias. Like, can we keep that to super fans? I don't know if I can keep that promise.
Yeah,
I can't talk bad about the Bulls, right?
Anyways, let's talk bad about the Magic or not. Markelle Fultz is going to play in the first Magic preseason game. He's finally going to suit up for the Orlando Magic. We all know him as the number one pick of the Philadelphia 76ers in 2017. He was traded away last season for Jonathan Simmons, and like the 26th pick, and it was pretty bad and pretty sad to see. But Markelle Fultz is now back. He's going to be in the rotation for the Magic. What are the expectations for Markelle Fultz in Orlando, Dave?
He's gonna play basketball this year. That's the expectation. He's going to play basketball this year, people.
Not injured Nikola Vucevic.
But do you expect him to play basketball this year?
I do expect him.
Is it going to actually happen?
That is literally my expectation for Markelle Fultz, is he will be in basketball games this season, and anything on top of that is gravy, because this kid, there's a reason he was bar none, this guy is the number one talent in this draft class. Because he's a big guard. Don't wave your fucking head.
I mean, some thought it was Lonzo Ball.
No.
Okay.
No one thought it was Lonzo Ball. The only case was...
One person did. It was Ricky Widmer.
No, I was the only one.
The only case
you did
was the Celtics fans who are so up their own ass about fucking Jason Tatum and the front office that I don't want to listen to their argument. So, Markelle Fultz, the undisputed number one pick of this class, big guard, can score, can create, can defend. He can do everything for you. But then shoulder injury has derailed his entire career. And it's a tragedy, but it's also like a case study of like how to handle a player injury as poorly as possible. And it's the Philadelphia 76ers health staff. Like, they are just...
They're worse than the Bulls?
Somehow worse than the Bulls, who almost killed a man. Jesus. But no, literally, I think he can come out and actually give them meaningful minutes. I think he can put up 10, 6, and 2 a night or something. Like, he is going to be able to play good basketball for them. Shooting percentages-wise, I can't tell you if this man's going to be able to make a shot from three. Everything I've seen looks like his shot is closer to what it was in college.
But do you think it looks good?
I don't care.
I see. I don't think it does look like a shot in college. I think it still looks jank. Yeah. And the free throw line shot is better. That looks very much improved.
He seems to have a good...
the jumper looks bad.
Yeah. His free throw actually has like that momentum and rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Where I feel like
there's still a little bit of
he gets the line, he gets what he needs. Like, all the motion's kind of fluid enough. I get you, though. The creating your own shot, even catch and shoots, we'll see how much it's going to vary this year, but he's had plenty of time to work on it. He was not rushed back at all last season post-trade. Didn't play a single game with the Magic, and they're like, look, we don't need him to play this year. We're going to let him work on him, and when he comes back, then we'll be ready. And that's what excites me most, is he's had basically 2 months to end the year, and then the entire offseason to work on getting himself in the place he needs to be physically to play this season. So, no, I'm uber high on Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, with me, it's one of those I'll believe it when I see it kind of things where, I mean, everyone, you even said it's like, I don't know what to expect from him because we thought that last year it was going to be, he's going to be back. He's going to be good. And it's like he plays 19 games and it's like, okay, he gets traded. And then obviously Magic shut him down, where I am not, out of you guys, when Sean, you said, Fultz is one of our favorites. He is not one of my favorites. I'm the only one on this podcast that's kind of been on the other side with Fultz. I'll believe it when I see it because I'm not going to buy into Markelle Fultz.
What do you mean by you're going to believe it when you see it?
I will believe that he can actually play basketball when I actually see it.
Okay, but you didn't see that in college. You thought he was a garbage basketball player in college.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I'm saying
but that's what we're going off of. We're not looking at what he's done Are you looking at what he's done in the NBA and being like, wow, this is a good basketball player?
I think
did set up the youngest triple-double in NBA history.
Doesn't matter.
I think at this point,
it sort of says something.
I think at this point you're so far away from college. I'll put it this way, where I know this is going to feed right into the YouTube comments, but in high school, I used to be able to down a full 12-pack of Taco Bell tacos. Can't do that no more. Really? I'm so far. No, I can't. I eat 4 of them and I go, I'm full. I'm good. And then I eat the rest for lunch later.
I think a lot of
lunch
YouTubers
the next
would
3
be
days.
surprised by that.
Yeah, no, I eat 4 of them. And then I go, yeah, I'm full.
What does this have to do with Markelle Fultz playing basketball? You are supposed to get better at basketball with age. This isn't eating tacos.
We are taking the long way around today. Sean, if you didn't catch that from the end of the last segment, where he said Michael Porter Jr. needs to craft his game after the season.
I didn't say craft game. I said the ceiling would be the same kind of impact that Fred VanVleet had on the Raptors. That's it. But what I'm saying is, with Markelle, we're so far away from him being in college where he's had, 2 full years to work in the NBA to where, I'm going to base it off of what I've seen in the NBA, not what I've seen 3 years ago in college. I would love to see the player that I saw at Washington, but I haven't in the NBA. So I'm not going to say, hey, I want to see that. I just want to see something better than I've already seen.
So is it an injury issue with you? Why can't you down a 12-pack anymore?
Me?
What's the issue? Well, Markelle, he obviously had the thoracic outlet syndrome.
I think for me it was when you're younger, it was I can just pound food into where now I eat a little bit slower. So my body tells me, hey, buddy, you're full. I would eat those 12. I would eat those 12 and go, oh, I feel sick. Because I would just shovel them in and eat as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it have to?
So were they hard shell or soft shell?
Hard shells.
Because that
hard shells,
adds
no
a different X factor into it.
Hard shells, no lettuce.
Lettuce is trash.
Lettuce from Taco Bell is even more trash.
Yeah. But no, it plays.
Any sauce?
I even use it mild.
Mild sauce?
I'm a mild sauce guy. Not a fire guy, not a hot guy. I'm a mild guy. But no, I bring that up because it's we're so far away from Markelle.
All right, let's get off the Taco Bell stuff. I think that's my job, is to get us off that.
My point being, we're so far away from college that, yes, I'm going to base it off of what I've seen in the NBA from him and not from what I've seen, 3-4 years ago in college?
I guess, but I mean, what
else do you have to base it on?
It's still the game of basketball, right? And I understand that you can't base his scoring output off of what he did in college, but you could still see that he's going to be likely the same athlete that he is. And he's still a phenomenal
better athlete by now. Because he's had years. His body is now, he's closer to a full-grown man at this point. He's put on weight. He's put on muscle.
He looks the same, though.
No, he actually has put on some muscle.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is it just been two?
If you look at his Washington picture versus his off-season, the hype video for summer workouts, he legit looks like he's gotten stronger.
Because
he's not like Lowry Markkinen,
it's one of those things where I think it's if it's
Dolph Lundgren, but
since it's so gradual, it's tough to pick up on.
He didn't have the Joel Embiid transformation.
No, God, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that with Fultz, I just want to see him play for sure, but I don't know if 10-6-2 is. I think
it would be more like 10-6-4.
If he scores 10, I will be shocked.
I will absolutely no. The kid can drive to the lane. He can go to the basket. It's when he gets in his own head on the pull-ups. That's where it gets questionable. I have no problem with Markelle Fultz getting 10 points a game. Come on. He was putting up 9 or 8 points a game when he was playing. Yeah, 8 points a game last year. In his limited minutes off the bench. I know he started those 2 games, 15 games technically to start the season, but felt awful. Mm-hmm. Because that rotation had no fucking spacing. That was the worst spaced rotation in NBA history. This Magic team has a great shooter at shooting guard in Evan Fournier. Yep. Fantastic. You have Jonathan Isaac, who is learning to spread it out. Vucevic is a monster in the low post. And Aaron Gordon, big shooting athletic 4. So, I'm absolutely good with him being able to plug into that starting lineup at some point later in the year. I think to start the year, you play it cautious. I want to see him running that second unit.
Yeah.
And then see where it goes. But I think he can drive. He is athletic. He is long. He can get to the basket.
I wonder where he's at physically when it comes to core strength and when it comes to his explosiveness. Okay. And I think that's something that can definitely develop and get better throughout the season for sure.
Yeah.
Just getting back at a game speed and all that stuff. But
that's going to be big for him.
I wonder if it's still elite, because I do think Ricky has a fair point in saying that it was 3 years ago, and he hasn't played like legit basketball like for a consistent period of time in 3 years since he was at Washington.
33 games.
Yeah, 33 games, but none of it was like super consistent either. Where it was like start. I do wonder if he's still that explosive. It's just concerning seeing someone be out this long and not seeing the progression yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's still going to be that impactful of a driver. If he's able to make an impact defensively, then I'll be happy, because that, I think, is going to be showing his athleticism. And maybe you just need to take time offensively because you need to find the rhythm, you need to find the game speed, you need to find how you fit in this offense. But defense is pretty much universal. You should be able to step in anywhere and be able to guard somebody.
I mean, he came in the league with a 6'10" wingspan. So, yeah, he should be good to guard guards.
But even then, you look at, and it just doesn't matter a ton, but you look at the defensive rating, like 105, 111, he got worse over that year. And if he's going up against elite guys, what is he actually going to be doing? Because although he's got that wingspan, he wasn't coming out as a lockdown defender. Like, he had the ability to, he had that potential for sure, but he didn't have that coming out right away. Honestly, he thought that he could be like a James Harden because of his speed, because of his body, if he built up
his
as well.
First step, yeah.
Yeah, he could be like that. And James Harden, when he's fully involved, he can be a very good defender. We saw, obviously, early James Harden, young James Harden was a great defender.
Unfortunately, I've watched a lot of Markelle Fultz highlights, and they're mostly defensive because of his offensive skill set was so bad in those games. So, like, you do get some decent highlights where he's one of those guys who he's high effort, and I think he was really trying to prove something, which probably helped out on that defensive end, because you are giving 110%. Well, not everybody else is. So I think defensively, he's going to be like, this is exactly what the Magic love. They get a long boy who plays defense.
Well, here's another thing I'm going to throw out here, and I'm taking this from an uprocks.com article where they talked about Markelle's expectations. And they say expecting Fultz to play like the former can't-miss number 1 overall pick is a bit much. That might only be the case for this season, or it might be the case for the remainder of his basketball career, however long that may be. What is a realistic expectation for him over the course of this season, though, is to use his role as Orlando's backup point guard to figure out what exactly he is as a basketball player. And I take that and I go, then to me, if we're going to do that, use the time you're going to get playing in Orlando, especially this year, to figure out, am I going back to like what Sean said, can we expect to see what we see in college? Is he going to be that same type of a player? Is that going to be his role on this team? Or based off of what we've seen, based off how he's grown in the NBA as a person, is his role going to be different? Is it not going to be, hey, I don't need to be that guy because on this team, my role is going to be this? Like, what's the role that he sees himself in? And what's the role this Orlando Magic organization sees him in? Because it's not just for this year, it's for future years as this Magic team, Orlando fans are hoping, they become a contender in future years.
It's a playoff team already. I mean,
like,
that's what you got to think.
In future years, sky's the limit. They're hoping, and hey, we can challenge for finals.
You can tell they're talking future years because they drafted Chuma Okeke this year in the first round, someone who's not going to play a minute this entire season. So this is not a team that's like, this is our time to strike when they are inside. No. They're like, look, we've got Jonathan Isaac, who is freakishly long, and he's building strength. He's got a good shot. He can ball handle. Aaron Gordon's still young. Vucevic is just about to hit, he's in his prime right now, so we can afford to pay him. But outside of that, it's just young pieces that they can move with, and I'm really excited for them because it's not like, Tariq Evans, the offensive supernova, is going to be there long term.
Terrence Ross.
Wow, why am I'm thinking of
Tyreek Evans
For a second,
2
I'm like-
years ago.
could have been, yeah.
I'm like,
2
for a
years ago.
second, isn't
Rookie
Tyreek
year,
Evans
Tyreek
like
Evans was.
suspended for a year or
He
two?
can't play basketball
Yeah.
because he did the drugs.
He did the drugs.
He does the drugs. No, I mean, this team is all long term. Like, they're so young. And the fact that they were already hit the playoffs based off their defensive prowess and effort, and then Terrence Ross coming up so big for them, I think anything they get out of him, if backup point guard this year, sure. If he makes it the starting lineup, awesome. It's all bonus for him. It's very similar to the Michael Porter situation. And that's why, Sean, I'm glad you brought both of these guys up back to back, because both of these guys had been pegged for stardom in the NBA since they were in high school. Since they're going through AAU, they've been the guy. And Markelle Fultz had such a great college career where Michael Porter Jr. didn't even have anything. It's just an interesting, like, they've got parallels and similarities back and forth between these two. And I wonder, like, this team for the Magic, they don't have as high hopes as the Nuggets do. They don't have the same depth that the Nuggets do. So I think Markelle Fultz comes into a better situation where he should get a lot of minutes this year to figure out where he's at. And I think that's exactly what they plan to do. They already locked up his next year, which was a bold move. I can't say I argue with it, but it's a statement about their confidence in him. So because the Magic as an organization are that confident in him, I feel that I should be confident in the fact that this kid is closer to what we saw in college than what we've seen in his first 2 years in the league, where he struggled with his injury and his confidence in his offensive game. I don't think he's going to be putting up 20 points a night or anything this year.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do expect him to play pretty well.
I definitely don't think 20 is attainable for sure.
That's why my 10.
It's just he's so limited when it comes to shooting. I don't think he's gonna have that back. Do you?
I don't know. I know he can drive. That's literally the one thing. Like, this is a guy who shot above 40% on threes in college.
Yeah.
On like 4 attempts a game. And yes, his form's been shit, but so are other people. I'm watching freaking highlights of LaMelo Ball, who shoots like an idiot, and he just makes it. I mean, like, I get it.
It's not about the form though, but like in his NBA career, he hasn't done it, and he hasn't been consistent.
He's been injured his NBA career, so that's where you have
for
to.
Sure.
You can't on one side penalize him for a poor performance in his career, on the other side not give the fact that he played through injuries. Because Markelle Fultz, according to Markelle Fultz, has not been healthy since he entered the league. He was hurt before the NBA preseason happened.
Yeah.
His rookie year.
I don't know. It's just tough because I don't think it's going to be a big part of his offense. So So at worst, he's going to have to make 5 drives a game, right? Because I don't think he's going to even have a mid-range game at all either. I think that
he felt comfortable pulling up last year, whether he should have or not. I don't know.
He had that one that was disgusting. That was just like an actual we're like, holy shit, this kid
Jimbo?
he could actually shoot again, and then we didn't see that ever again. You know, if he has that, then he's gonna be nasty. He can put up 10 a game, but I don't know if it's gonna be at that level, and I don't know if it's gonna be at that level enough where over a season it will hit 10, because. I think off the gates he'll probably be a little bit slow, and it depends on when he's going to pick up. And around January and February is really when I try to get a mark for these guys, and he should be
getting 8 shots a game in Philly though.
No, some of it was garbage though.
He started 15 of those games. That's remember how crazy horrible that experiment was?
Yeah, but he wasn't good in that time. And what did he average that year?
8.2 points, 3.7 boards,
What did he average his rookie year?
3.1 assists. Rookie year, he was putting up 7.9 field goal attempts, 7 points a game, 3.8 assists, 3.1 rebounds.
I think he'll still be around that attempts per game. I don't think he's going to get that much of an increase because they do
You're
have
shooting 40% both years.
What's up?
Well, when you guys are done, I've got a
I
player
just
comparison.
don't think he's going to get that many
your
shots per game. Because you still have Vooch, you have Ross, you have Fournier, you have Isaac, you have Bamba, you have Augustine as well, still going to take shots. I still think they're going to be guys on that team that take shots.
Michael Carter Williams will not touch the basketball is the hope. Look, that is the upside for this team. And
they asked him. They asked him to bulk up to guard 2s and 3s.
I can't wait until we have Markelle Fultz.
He was guarding 4s.
No,
this is a guy who is
that.
Please just do something.
That to me shows that they're being Orlando's confidence in Markelle, where it's like, hey, Michael Carter, go bulk up. You're going to guard 2s and 3s because, no, Markelle's our guy behind DJ.
Yeah, MCW, literally, I know he helped them get to the playoffs last year, but he's literally walking trash on the court. Like, he's hashtag on the court bad.
I want to throw this out at you.
I don't know if Markelle Fultz is hashtag on the court good, though.
I didn't say that.
I'm going to blind resume you. And
Is it Rondo?
no.
Because I did hear Scottie Pippen talking. He's like, yeah, Markelle Fultz should model his game after Rajon Rondo.
It's not Rondo.
And I'm like, what?
No.
Would you,
Scottie, I love your voice, but what?
Would you be okay with this stat line from Markelle? And then I'll tell you the player, and then we'll talk about maybe could this be his
Is this their rookie year?
expectation? No, this is last year.
Okay, just this player's last year.
Players last year.
Is it Fred VanVleet?
It is not. So they scored.
Jr.
So they scored 8.9 points per game on 7 shot attempts. They made about 3 of their 7 shots per game. Shot 42% from the field. Made about 2 out of just over 4 threes per game. Shot 36% from 3.
Jesus.
Pretty great for him.
And from the foul line, shot 80%. Was about 1.3 out of 1.6. So wasn't going to the line much, but we're making their foul attempts. 2.9 rebounds, 4 assists, about just under 2 steals a game at 1.8, and 0.4 blocks per game. Their defensive rating last year was a 107. Would you be okay with that from Markelle this year?
That's a lot of steals a game. A lot of steals.
Thoughts on that?
How many games did they play?
They played 80.
What was the minutes?
27.5.
I see. I'm the worst with this stuff because I just want to try to guess the guy.
I know, right?
I'll tell you.
That's all I give a shit about.
I'll tell you, guy, after I hear your thoughts.
I think he's a better rebounder. Like Markelle Fultz, when I said 2 to start the show, I was way off because I forgot how good he is at rebounding.
Yeah, and he's not going to take 4 threes a game. That's for sure.
That's
so I think the free throws would be increased. The threes, if he gets over 1.5, I'd be shocked.
This guy only started 60 of the 80, though.
I don't know.
And that was a jump from 11 starts out of 54 games the year before.
Give me the points and then the shooting splits one more time.
So 8.9, 42, 36, 80.
Yeah.
That would not be a bad year from him.
I don't think
he can score more
gonna
points,
happen.
though. He's not going to be able to shoot that from 3. But the free throw line's also questionable.
He's not hitting 80.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't think. I think,
like those 2 things, if he could do those, that would be amazing. I think he's going to score more points, have more rebounds.
This player was also an all-defensive player last year.
Yeah, no. Markelle Fultz will not be that guy.
Do you know who it was?
I know who it is. Guys, so go ahead and tell Sean.
Oh,
Marcus Smart.
that's what. That's who I was gonna guess. God damn it.
Yeah. So the 3-point shooting did not happen until recently.
Yeah, but Marcus Smart has been playing for what, like 6 years now? Like,
Yeah, he's 24. I get he's older, but like
it's just like, I don't know.
But the reason I bring it up is because of what Markelle's been through. Is this the future for Markelle? Like, is his role for a team not to be the star we expected as a number 1 pick? But hey, if he can be a guy like can be a guy like Marcus Smart and be a really good defensive stopper who can help him either in the starting lineup, because Marcus Smart started 60 games last year, but mostly really off of the bench. Like, could be a good career for him.
If you get anything out of Markelle Fultz, that is a plus. So if he puts up 8.9 and shoots 36% from 3, that is a win for a backup point guard, without a doubt.
For that 3-point percentage.
It's just, can he ever hit that top ceiling again? I don't know if it is true, but I also want to give him a shot. I have to see what happens. So,
but do you think it's real? And when you say top ceiling, you mean what we expected out of? But is it
realistic that he hits that? No, because I think
is it a realistic goal? Is it even a realistic goal? I'm not talking about the stats. I'm talking more about the role. Like when we're talking about the role.
I think he absolutely can do that.
He's already backup point guard.
Yeah, he's backup point guard.
I mean the role because the role when he got drafted. About the role?
Like,
so
are you talking about just being a backup point guard?
Kind of, where it's like when he got drafted, his expectation for a role was to be the guy, the starting point guard, the guy at the one.
Yeah,
No, his expectation was to be the two guard next to Ben Simmons.
Next to Ben Simmons, but still,
and provide spacing.
To be a starter, to be a guy in that starting lineup that helps that team win, is that even a reasonable expectation for a role, or is it, hey, more of your realistic role expectation would be to be a solid backup and to help us in this, like, that's going to be your career of, you're going to be like, let's say he's a great six man. Like, that's
I 110% believe he can get to be a full-time starter and legit, like, several years in this league. I 100% believe in him. And this is the thing. I've been a huge Markelle Fultz guy for way longer than the last couple of years. And then you guys know this, but it's just like, I think he can do it 100% until he doesn't, until he comes out healthy and shits the bed worse than some other guy, Michael Carter Williams, you know. Even that guy gets 1 year where he looks good.
Yeah.
But I think that limiting him and saying that his expectation should be aim for six man is an insult. Like, we've not seen this kid at his peak yet, and we haven't seen him play healthy. So going in with that expectation, I am chipping back and saying six man this year. Maybe transitions into the starting lineup if he plays well. If DJ Augustine's shooting splits come back to reality, then absolutely. He gives them a dynamic option at the one. Someone who can go aggressive at the net, great rebounder, great athlete, good defender. Everything about his skill set screams this guy should be a starter. And it just comes down to the fact of, does his shot look correct? Does it go in? If he puts up decent splits, he's a starter, 110%.
I agree with you. I don't think there's anything to debate there. I think that his role this year is what you described, being a point guard to help us win. But that's coming into the season. It could be absolutely different come January or February, or even different come April. I just don't know what he can put out there, and I want to see what he can put out there. I definitely don't want to limit his role, though. I think Dave's absolutely right, though, because if he comes out and he's healthy, he could be a starter in this league without a doubt. I mean, you don't get these guys, even if he's not a great shooter. You don't get guys that are 6'5", this athletic, and this long. You don't get guys that are that good at passing as well. This guy gets basketball. He's very smart. He's just hasn't been healthy. So that's the biggest thing. If he's granted with health, he can be a starter in this league, without a doubt.
Is he better than Ish Smith?
Well...
that's our 30th starter of the year this year for a point guard position. So that's your
also
bar.
because it's John Wall should be there.
Yeah,
so that's a little bit different.
Chris
So
Dunn?
give me that should be Satoransky.
Chris Dunn, Jeff Teague, DJ Augustine.
Teague. There you go. Teague's
Dennis
probably
Smith
the first
Jr.
one. He's better than Dennis Smith Jr. I'd take Markelle Fultz over Dennis Smith Jr.
And that's So that's the thing. When you look at this, I think you want to put him up there because of the potential. I understand the hesitance because of the injuries, and you're absolutely correct to say he's been in the league. This will be his third year. College was too long ago to consider it. I'm just in the mindset of we haven't seen healthy Markelle. And do you remember the summer league games when he actually was showing up and putting up ridiculous numbers? Like, it's Markelle Fultz. Like, he's got it. He's got to still have it in the bag.
The name that you brought up, do you think he's better than Dennis Smith Jr. right now? Who would you rather have right now? Right now, just
I
for
don't
the
like
season.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Just for the season.
Honest,
I'm going to take
like
Dennis Smith.
See, that's what I knew. I just wanted to get to him because I knew he was a fucking Dennis Smith guy.
I just don't like
You're a
him.
rat, Ricky.
Well, I mean, Markelle hasn't shown me anything yet.
What has Dennis Smith shown you? He's been
shown
healthy.
me,
That's it.
Yeah, he's shown me more than Markelle.
Ugh.
He actually got hurt too.
Ugh. Dennis Smith Jr.
And he's got some great Aristotle quotes, and the Knicks asking some weird fucking questions like our thumbs a finger and shit.
He
like
seems
that.
like a good dude, Dennis Smith Jr., but I don't like watching him play
Dave
basketball.
just hates him after watching that video.
Anyways.
No, I hated him before watching the video. I never liked him coming out of college.
Yeah. Well, I
back, watch our
thought
draft.
he was interesting coming out of college, but
Oh yeah,
I didn't
he was a hyper athlete. Like the man fucking could jump over a mountain, but
They're the same draft class.
he did
right?
not have basketball skills.
Anyways, let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think Markelle Fultz expectations are? I think bench player that could possibly turn into a starter. Dave's thinking starter. Ricky's thinking bench player. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. We're super interested to hear what you think. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, check out patreon.com/podcast. If you want to help support us, that's where you can do so. But for Dave Oster, for Ricky Widmer, I'm Sean Anderson. We'll see you next time.